Hello and welcome to my October wrap-up and November TBR. It's a 2-in-1. Let's go. So I didn't think that my October wrap-up would be one, enough content, two, very entertaining on its own. So I read 2 books in October, both within like the first week of the month. I haven't finished a book in so long. It's the 31st today and yeah, I'm not gonna finish another book. And I can't remember what reading feels like. But let's get straight into what I read in October. The first book that I read is the new Percy Jackson book, The Chalice of the Gods. It was great. I'm not gonna pretend to be like a die-hard Percy Jackson fan. I read the original 5 and really enjoyed them. I tried to read the next series and I can't remember what it's called, but I just didn't get into it. I do want to one day read all of the books in that series. I love big connected series, but I just haven't read it yet. I did, however, read the new Percy book and it was great. It had a lot of the charm of The Lightning Thief, I think because the main trio were all together and having a good time. It was just fun. It felt a little more like light-hearted than some of the other Percy Jackson books. I think maybe the stakes are lower and so you're able to just have a bit more of a good time. But yeah, I think if you have ever enjoyed the Percy Jackson series, you will love the new Percy book. I definitely did, and yeah, I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's definitely like aimed at a bit of a younger audience than I am. I'd say it's that spot between middle grade and young adult, or that like early young adult. But it's good fun. I feel like I read these books so long ago I don't have much to say about them, which is not great. The next book that I read, the only other book that I read in October, was actually a reread, and that is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. If you know me, you know I love Casey McQuiston. This book came out and I read it straight away and I loved it. However, this book came out during my very intense reread phase of Red, White and Royal Blue. I was rereading that book like every week. And so I read it and enjoyed it, but if I was going to reread a Casey McQuiston book, it was going to be Red, White and Royal Blue. Rereading this book years later was wild. I loved this book. I think I like this as much as Red, White and Royal Blue. I think the characters were lovely and the found family always gets me. And overall, I don't know why this doesn't get as much hype as Red, White and Royal Blue. Well, I do, but that just is kind of sad, so. Same reason a bunch of shows get cancelled, am I right? If you haven't read One Last Stop, I really do recommend it. It's so much fun, especially if you liked Red, White and Royal Blue. It's the same author. It's got that like fun element. It's just, it's so good. And like the characters are so good. But yes, I loved One Last Stop. It's great. Read it. I'd love to see a movie adaptation of this book. I actually think it would be such a good movie. Oh, this would be an impossible project to cast, I think. I think you'd need all unknowns. Anyway, that was the very extensive list of books I read in October. Moving on to what I'd like to read in November. Reading feels impossible because I just like haven't read a book in so long, but November is National Novel Writing Month, also known as NaNoWriMo, and I am participating again. By the time this video goes up, it will already be November, and I'll have a couple of videos about Nano already. So if you'd like to see any of my like plans for Nano, those videos will be linked, and I am weekly vlogging Nano, so if you'd like to see those, you can subscribe. But yeah, I'm so excited for Nano, but I find it very difficult to write and read at the same time. Obviously not like the exact same time, but like, you know what I mean. I definitely can't read books that are in the genre that I'm writing because then my ideas get all muddied in my head and I get very confused. So dark academia is off the table right now, which is unfortunate because I actually have a few started. I'm not gonna finish until at least December. So with that said, I do want to stick in like the realm of what I'm writing, not the genre, but just like maybe the tone. So I'd like to read a few classics. I've been saying that, and I'm gonna keep saying that. I've picked two off my shelf that actually feel really doable. I think classics and dark academia go hand in hand, and I think it's fine to read them at the same time as I'm writing because, like, I'm not writing a classic, you know what I mean? But the characters in my story would read classics, is my line of connection here. Would they read these classics? I don't know, but the two I've picked off my shelf are children's books, actually. One of them is Alice in Wonderland and the other is a collection of fairy tales by Hans Christian Andersen. These books feel like classics that I could actually read. I started Alice in Wonderland once, I've flicked through the fairy tales before. This is something I can do. I don't know how to mark what I've read out of the fairy tales because some of them are like 15 pages long. Does that count as a book? I don't know. If it does, I think I might actually reach my reading goal this year. But I really want to get back into like settling into bed a little earlier and reading a bit of a classic. I used to do that like years ago when I was like maybe freshly 18. I'd get into bed early and read classics. Did I ever finish one? No. Did I start many? Yes. But I really enjoyed that time. It was really nice and like calming. But yeah, I want to get back into that and these feel like a good place to start. There is one other book I'd like to read and it's big and scary and I don't know if I'm gonna get to it, but and that is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. It's really pretty and gold. It's also quite large. It is a Cassandra Clare book, so like what else did I expect? But oh boy. I find it really hard to get into new fantasy, so this will be a little bit difficult, but I want to try. I like Cassandra Clare's other books and I feel like I could potentially enjoy this. I don't know if I'll finish it during November just because it is going to be a bit of a busy month and it is long. So from what I know, this book follows a body double for a prince or something. Sounds pretty interesting to me. I don't know, I just want to read. I really miss reading. I feel like lately if I want to like unwind, I've been turning to TV more than books. Like I haven't read a book for so long and basically all of the books I've read for the past few months have been audiobooks. So I really do want to kind of relearn how to just sit down and read. But then like at the same time I am kind of marathoning Doctor Who right now, so like I don't know where my priorities are and like don't question me about it because I really am enjoying Doctor Who and I really want to catch up before the new episodes come out. So yeah, I've only picked out a few books that I'd like to read in November. I'm not setting my sights too high this month. My main focus is NaNoWriMo. I want to write this book. I want to get a first draft done. I might listen to some audiobooks just like as I do other things. Especially considering I'm probably gonna have a significant bit of like my job to do, and I can listen to audiobooks while I do that. I can't read physical books. So yeah, I'll probably listen to some audiobooks. I actually started rereading or re-listening to Six of Crows the other day. Did I listen to it like 2 months ago? Yes. Am I going again? Also yes. I really love that book. Where is it? It's behind me somewhere. Here it is. I also made a little crow out of clay one time. Here, you can see it better on the white. My friend and I had a little craft day. I made myself a little crow to sit with my crows. I also feel like I've definitely shown this before, but I'm obsessed with him, so I'm going to show you again. This is a little frog with a wizard hat. Incredible, am I right? I've got a little magical frog on my bookshelf. But yes, I think that's all for today. Those were the books that I read in October and what I'd like to read in November. I think it's going to be a good time. Also, if anyone's mean about my shirt, I will cry. I love it. It is also Halloween today, so like I could use that as an excuse even though this is just a shirt that I own. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you'd like to read in November. I think it's really interesting, especially if you're from the Northern Hemisphere. People are typically reading much more like autumnal books. I live in Australia, so it's springtime, baby. And I'm kind of gearing up to summer. But yes, You can give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. You can subscribe. I upload twice a week, and if you'd like to see my NaNoWriMo vlogs, they will be coming out. One's probably already out by the time this video goes up. But yeah, have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye!